And here we go, guys. We're gonna have the grand final of the Eternal Cup 3, which is gonna be played right here between Beat for Team M&M, Revolution as well for M&M, Marius89, Dodeka, and Gwen, the top 5 that have qualified for today's journey, are gonna battle it out now in Cup mode. Point limit is gonna be 120 with finalist mode, and we're gonna play for some actual good-looking prize money as well. Gonna have a prize pool of $500 that are gonna be distributed between the 3 drivers that are occupying the first 3 positions. So quite a lot at stake for the drivers tonight. And the first map that we are gonna play is gonna be 5x5 by Eternity, which is, as you can see, a very compact track. It is built on a 5x5 base. So a lot of tight corners, a couple of quarter pipe blocks being used as well, and some magnets to top it off. So this is going to be a pretty exciting one. Gotta keep in mind that shortcuts are allowed. So whoever knows about possible shortcuts can use them to his advantage. I think similar to the semi-final, we're also gonna have 3 rounds per map. I don't think it has been specified anywhere, so I will just assume that will be the case. But yeah, here we go. Let's follow Dodeka through the first round on map number 1, Eternal Cup 3 Grand Final. Starting off with Dodeka getting a massive slowdown in his drift and will lose some precious time already. He's half a second behind the leader. But on a track like this, which allows for many different lines and also many mistakes, anything pretty much can happen. So let's have a look. Dodeka now opting for a wallbang, and that was actually a pretty good choice, because he does come quite close to his opponents again. Marius89 right now on 4th place. Now going for a shortcut. Dodeka fails as well as Marius. I think Revolution and Gwen actually passed it. So here you see the first couple of risks being taken by the drivers. So this one did not work for Dodeka and Marius, who now lost 10 seconds to the leader, who is Revolution right now, and clocks in a time of 55:30. Gwen 1.1 seconds behind, who went for the shortcut as well, but took it a bit easier. Beat 5.7 seconds behind, and then there's Dodeka and Marius, who still will finish and get 3 and 2 points respectively. Revolution with 10, Gwen with 6, and Beat with 4. So very interesting to see that players are actually risking the shortcut. So it is all going to be about who's going to take it and who's going to mess it up maybe as well. Looks like a pretty tight jump, which you can easily mess up if you don't angle up properly. So let's have a look at round number 2. Marius with a very inside line. Doesn't really carry a lot of speed through the section, which you don't really need though, so he will still remain on that 4th place. Dodeka with that wallbang. It is definitely the superior strat, I would say. And it is also not too risky, if I may say so myself. So now going for the shortcut again. Revolution fails, and Marius now gets the 10-pointer if he manages to keep himself in the lead. He's the only one, I think, that managed to get this shortcut properly. So Marius, the safe meister, doing everything but being safe, goes for the quarter pipe jump. Ooh, makes it, and that will be a good-looking 10-pointer, 56.003 by Marius. Dodeka 1.8 seconds behind, taking 2nd place. Beat on 3rd. And here we have Gwen, who is right now on 4th. Will be able to finish. Oh, he's not going to make the jump. Oh my god, that was lucky. Oh, boy. Oh, but Revolution might actually have struggled to finish. He only has 5 seconds left on the clock. He goes for a low jump, but he's not making this jump, and he's not going to get any points in this round. Revolution with a DNF will remain on 10 points, but he still keeps that 2nd place. Marius89 taking over the lead with 12 points. Gwen with 9, Dodeka with 9, and Beat with 8. Round number 3, last round on this track. Oh, little mistake right there by Gwen. Gets a no slides. Marius once again with that inside approach. Revolution with a great start. Beat on second place. Dodeka now going for that overtake again, using the wall hit. All in all, a pretty packed round. Let's have a look. Beat not going for the shortcut. Revolution is going to go for it. Marius gets it again. But Gwen with more exit speed will remain on that second place. However, Dodeka gets overtaken and gets pushed back to fourth place. Now the Magneto part. Revolution. Very good time right there. No mistakes. Gets a 55.19. That is looking to be a pretty fast time by Revolution. Gwen on second, Marius on third, Beat on fourth, and Dodeka apparently made another extra mistake on top of that and drops down all the way to last. And that's going to be the end for map number 1. We're going to swiftly move on to the next track, which is going to be A New Day by Eternity. So 20 points for the German driver Revolution, followed by his countryman Marius, 16, Gwen with 15, Beat on 11, and Dodeka with 11 as well. So we only have 9 points between first and fifth place, meaning that nothing's lost for anyone. So this map is has a little bit of a speed tech taste, with some fast-paced drifts coming up in the second half of the track, including a long freewheel sector that you really need to carry as much speed as possible. This one right here. So this one is going to be pretty decisive. And then of course we also have the wall bang, the water bounce, sorry, the water bounce at the end of the track that you will see in an instant. So right here, wanna slightly rotate your car because you need to immediately turn. So yeah, pretty exciting map. Let's have a look how the drivers will be approaching this one. Warm-up is ending, and we're gonna go into round 1 out of 3. Following Marius 89. Very precise start. And Gwen and Beat have done it the best so far. It is Marius who is fighting with Revolution here through the underground section. Now going on to the grass section. Right here. So this transition from grass onto road is very important. You want to make sure that you don't slide too much. Otherwise you will lose too much speed. Sliding of course makes you lose speed. So you want to make sure that you don't slide too much when you go back onto the road. Revolution now with the overtake, and Marius also carried a lot of speed through the section. We're now coming towards the water bounce. The more speed you carry to the water bounce, the better. Marius now with an early release, trying to opt for that inside line. Overtakes Gwen as we speak. Beat with that first place, 10 points, very important. Revolution on second, double lead for M&M. Then we have Marius, Gwen, and Dodeka following up. Very close round right here in the top 4. Following Dodeka through this one, who is rocking this Canada car skin. Revolution, on the other hand, you can see that he is also rocking that Canada car skin, despite not being Canadian himself. Marius now with the Euronics Memorial Horn, fighting for that 4th place with Dodeka. Dodeka gets a very good grip and will come closer to the other drivers. Dodeka with a super wide line, and look how much speed he's carrying through this. Passes Marius with ease. Back to 4th place he goes. Beat on 1st. Revolution on 2nd. Oh, Revolution with a massive slowdown. Dodeka now popping into the fight right here. Revolution with a slowdown. Gwen almost overtaking. That was super close. Only 400s between 2nd and 4th. And then there's Marius, who apparently messed up the ending. He clocks in a 103, so he made a big mistake apparently. And now we have a tie for that 3rd place between Gwen and Marius. Dodeka sitting there with 16. And the leader right now is Revolution. 32, Beat with 31. Dodeka not with the greatest start right here. He already lost 0.2 in the first couple of corners. Already half a second behind. So Dodeka not with the greatest start, and he even touches the pole. Doesn't make it any better for himself. So Dodeka is going to be out of this race. Beat leading. Gwen on 2nd. And now it is Revolution who is opting for a pretty good line right here. Gwen stumbling over the Randstein but manages to stabilize. Over the hill we go. And another solid looking lap by the German driver. Revolution now trying to come closer to Gwen. Gets the superior line in the looping. Up to 2nd place he goes. The last landing will decide it. How tight of a line will the players go for Revolution with a very wide line? And that is exactly what he not wants. So Gwen will capitalize from that and goes up to 2nd place. Beat with another 10-pointer will extend his lead. Marius on 3rd and Dodeka now finishing with a 105. And that's going to be the end of this map. We're going to move over to map number 3, which is going to be the full speed map. Brakes in the Trash, which is a very interesting map to say the least. I have played this map a little bit myself, and I have not understood it because it is really weird. But definitely interesting to see how the drivers are going to get this one through on a consistent base. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. So we have a couple of speed slides being incorporated here. Let's just follow Revolution, who I think had a very good time in time attack. So a long speed slide right here that you need to slide all the way through. Might actually switch to Cam 3 through the magnet part here. And there you go. So it is a very, very fast-paced track. Not your typical competitive full-speed track, that's for sure. So this one requires a different driving style, I would say. But gonna be an interesting one. So the points are looking as follows. Beat has extended his lead over his teammate 5 points between 1st and 2nd. And then there's a an 8-point gap, sorry, from 2nd to 3rd. Marius on 4th with 25, and then there's Dodeka sitting there with 18. So it would be good if Dodeka gets some proper points out of this map. Let's follow him. Right now, he is on 4th place, but Gwen is coming back with a lot of speed and will go for that overtake in the turnover. Very different line choice by all of the drivers. Some are opting for some small speed slides, others are not. And Gwen with the first mistake touches the wall, or rather clips the edge on the inside. Dodeka now with a very risky line, but goes for a pretty solid speed slide and gets all of that boost as well. So Dodeka now fighting with Revolution. The ending will be pretty decisive. This is where mistakes can easily happen. In the best case, you do want to no-slide. Dodeka with a super risky line. And it did pay off. 54.9 by Dodeka. Marius 0.2 behind. And then there are some massive mistakes that all happened at the end of the track. Gwen 1.1 seconds behind. Revolution multiple seconds behind, as well as Beat. So the ending is definitely not easy to get right. Round number 2. Oh, what a mistake by Gwen. Touches like the first available wall. Lucky for him that he manages to pass the first couple of jumps without too much issue, but he will of course lose quite some time. Revolution entering the turnover pretty early. That was a big time loss by Beat. As you could see, Dodeka, what a risky line right there. Tries to go over the Randstein to get a little speed slide out of it. So the first place is being fought for between Revolution and Dodeka. Now Marius, completely missing that speed slide line, has to oversteer, but he's not getting passed by Beat. Dodeka with low speed as well, so looking like a good round for Revolution. Marius now really doesn't get that line. Wait, what's this? Marius with the 500 IQ play actually hits the magnet super early and gets the finish. Oh my god. That is actually insane. Actually insane. Unfortunate for him that it didn't pay off for him that well. He still stays on that 5th place in that round, but wow, I'm actually, like, I haven't seen this yet. That was a good save. So I guess in case of a crash, that is kind of your last resort to at least finish. Revolution, what a great lead by him. He's 0.2 ahead. Gwen is on 2nd. But now the ending is going to be pretty spicy. As you can see, it is really easy to lose grip here. As an analog player, you do of course have a little advantage. But keyboard player Revolution manages to no-slide as well with ease. And he gets a 54.6. Gwen only 300s behind. That was a close race up front together with Beat as well. So that was a great round by all of the drivers. Revolution with 59 points now in the lead. And we're pretty much halfway through the tournament. Lars, he lost 2 positions due to his mistake, not due to the 500 IQ play. That comment is rather redundant. Next map with some dirt, which is probably going to be pretty good for Marius. It is Dirt Easy by Eternity. The points looking as follows. 59 for Revolution. Beat 8 points behind. Then there's a 10-point gap down to Gwen, who is at 41. Marius with 36, losing some ground, and Dodeka with 36 as well. So we have a tie for 4th. So in the semi-final, we could see that Revolution and Marius went for that inside risky line in that corner. It is pretty risky because there is a chance of getting a slowdown. So let's see whether the drivers are actually going to go for it. Of course, the drivers are well prepared on these maps, but maybe Marius, with his expertise on dirt, can make something happen. He's definitely in dire need of points. Together with Dodeka, they are trailing behind the others a little bit. So as I said, we are pretty much halfway through. The point limit is 120 plus finalist mode. So we still have a long way to go. And off we go. Round number 1. Oh, unfortunate slowdown by Gwen going up that hill. So that is already going to be a time loss of half a second. Goes very wide in Revolution now with a massive slowdown as well. And Gwen, with that massive mistake, jumps straight into the checkpoint. Completely misjudged that jump because he went so wide that he probably had no idea how far he's going to jump afterwards. Ooh, Dodeka with a bug. That is something that I personally really disliked about this map when I had a swift look at it. So right now it looks like Marius is actually going to take that first place. Beat is second, half a second behind. So Marius can take it easy right here in the last corner. But he slows down a lot. What is happening to Marius? Beat with a great comeback, but it's not enough. But that was definitely something I was slightly worried about. But he manages to stay in the lead. Marius with a 10-pointer, Beat with 6, Revolution with 4, Dodeca with 3, and Gwen with the 2 points. Marius up to 3rd place. That was an important 10-pointer. And once again, that was a slowdown. This time, it was Revolution that gets it. So that transition isn't really too friendly. Revolution with some very good speed, closing in to Dodeca and Marius, overtakes them both in one corner. Revolution up to 3rd, great comeback. Now we have the inside line that does not work for Revolution, but on the other hand it works very well for Marius and Gwen with a massive bug, and also Dodeca completely stumbling over that edge. And now it is the fight between the two Germans, Marius and Beat, that are fighting for that first place. That is a rather unfortunate happening for Gwen, who completely flew out of the track right there. But Marius jumps too far right and clips the ring checkpoint, and he's on his roof. Oh my days. He had the lead and he jumps too far right. Marius throwing a potential 10-pointer right here. He is gonna be upset about that. I can tell you already. So barely able to reach the finish line right here. It is Beat that gets 10 points. Revolution with 6. Dodeca with 4. And Gwen with 3. So yeah. This round was definitely all over the place. Next rounds. This time nobody's eating that slowdown. And you see very different lines. Revolution Marius going for a very wide line on the banking, while the others are going a bit tighter, but didn't really pay off for Revolution or Marius. They're still trailing the others. However, they're coming a little bit closer. Now, the signature line by Marius, and it did actually pay off for Revolution as well. They're now taking over the lead. Great part by Marius89, going up to first place. But touches the wall on the downhill. Recovers pretty well, though. Keeps the speed and keeps the gear as well. Revolution now dropping down to second place again. Marius in the lead. Jumping a bit too far left. Dodeca on third place, but Marius will have a good angle jumping onto this next third part. Gwen right now trying to fight for that third place, but we have to have a look right here at Revolution versus Marius89 for that first place. Revolution with that release, Marius89 losing that gear, and Revolution will take advantage from that, and it will be a 101.36 for Revolution, 101.63 for Marius. So that was a very good round right here at the end of this map. So that has definitely shuffled the scoreboard a little bit. We now have Revolution with 79, Beat with 70, Marius with 54, pretty far behind. The M&M players definitely running away from their opponents. Then there's Gwen, who lost his third place on the dirt map, down to fourth place. He goes with 48 points. And then there's Dodeca, who is still lurking in the shadows with 47 points, waiting for a good opportunity to maybe pass his opponents. Next map is going to be Salade de Style, the salad mix. The style salad mix right here. Very tasty, very healthy for everyone. So, as you can guess, this is a map that kind of incorporates all of the styles. You have dirt, you have balancing, you have tech, you have full speed, you have kind of everything mixed into this salad. And also a kind of a shortcut here. This is not the intended line. So this is also something that the players will go for, because it is not really a too risky of a shortcut. So, exciting map, definitely. And also the ending is gonna allow for a lot of trajectories, a lot of strats. You can of course, like, you come from this quarter pipe, right? And you bounce off the road. You can either decide to land on the top or land on the bottom layer. If you go for the top, you need to jump from here to this finish. This is the risky part. You can also take the ceiling hit, water bounce, and then land. But that is too slow. And then, of course, there's the option to land at the bottom. And then land in the bug slide and slide around this corner into the finish. So, plenty of possibilities for the drivers to finish this one. And the end is definitely going to be decisive. So, let's have a look. First round coming up following Mario's. Starting off with the full speed part. Gwen gets it pretty nicely. Marius with a good exit as well. And the first respawn. The pipe section, where a lot can happen. Revolution gets it pretty well here, but Gwen with a very big advantage. Already 1 second ahead. As we hear Mario's Euronics Memorial Horn once again. He is on second place. Maybe he can catch up a little bit to Gwen on the dirt section as we go through the next respawn. Marius on second, Revolution on third. And now we could actually have a little custom camera right here for the shortcut section. We see that there are different approaches. Dodeca is actually going for the normal route. Third respawn now. Marius and Gwen fighting for that first place. Who is going to go for which line? That is going to be very exciting to see. It is Marius that jumps very high. Gwen goes for a lower jump. Gwen with more speed, jumping to the boosters. And both are probably going to opt for the bug slide strat. And Gwen actually gets really, really well. Yo, Revolution. Almost sniping his own teammate. So Revolution went for the top layer and jumped straight down to the finish. The risk, however, did not really pay off. He remains behind his teammate. Gwen with 10, Marius with 6. And then there's Beat, Revolution, and Dodeca following up. Next round incoming. Oh, Beat losing a little bit of time right there in the full speed section. Didn't really get that nice exit. And he actually respawns too early. Beat being a bit too greedy with that respawn timing. And that is going to be the definite rip for Beat right here. Oh my god, are you actually kidding me? Did everyone just fall off there? Did everyone just fall off there? Mario's on first and everyone else is miles behind. This is actually unbelievable. Everyone is chonking except Marius, and he's of course gonna be like, yeah, dankeschön, thank you very much, give me the points. Here's Dodeca creeping in on that second place. The ending is still not easy to get. Let's have a look. Here's Marius. Revolution with that kamikaze top layer landing. This is gonna be exciting now. Mario's still gonna have the upper advantage. Revolution jumping, and it is almost enough to snipe. But not quite enough, though. Not quite enough. Marius, 10 points. Dodeca with 6. Revolution with 4. Gwen with 3. And then there's Beat, who will be able to finish, but he's really, really far behind. There he goes. So, a round that has very, very... it has been all over the place. Very interesting round. Marius now closing into Beat. Only 6 points now. This is definitely going pretty good for him. So, the final round right here coming up on this map. Will we see another mistake fiesta, or will everyone get through this time? Here's the respawn. Everyone gets it. I don't think we lost any soldier. That is looking pretty good. Oh, but Dodeca getting stuck on the edge, and that is something that he needs to recover from. He's able to do so, which is actually really good. But that is going to be a big time loss. We see Beat, who also lost some speed. Marius on third. Gwen in the lead once again. He has the pace. for the first section of the track. That is for certain. Revolution on second. Going for the respawn now. 0.3 of a difference. You see different shortcut lines. I would say that Gwen's line is a bit superior because you do travel less distance. So Gwen will extend his lead just by a little bit. But now we have the ending. Free cam T-Tours. Gwen on first. Revolution again going for the top layer, but he doesn't reach it. And he has to go for the bottom layer now. Backup strat for Revolution. Gwen will go for the bug slide. Zip. Nice. Revolution. Zip. Marius does not get the bug slide. No zip for Marius. Oh, and Dodeca slaps into the finish block. Trying to go for the bug fin, but keep in mind we are in Mania Planet 4. There is no bug fin, mate. Will he be able to finish now? Last jump. And he zips into the finish as well. Gwen with a 10-pointer, which is important for him. Then there's Revolution with 6, Marius with 4, Beat with 3, and Dodeca with 2. And off we go onto the next track, which is a giant pile of dirt. A map called The Mountain. And we're gonna start in this mountain. It is a fully dirt-based track, which is very interesting to say the least. So we have 92 points for Revolution, who got away from his teammate. There's now a 13-point gap between first and second place. Revolution looking to win the Eternal Cup 3, but we're still pretty far away. The point limit is 120, so anything can happen. Beat with 79, Mario still 5 points behind. Gwen only 4 points behind. And then there's Dodeca, who lost a little bit on the last track. He's now at 57, and he needs kind of a miracle to happen. Maybe this track is going to be the miracle that he needs. Let's find out soon. So this is a track that is definitely not your standard dirt track. Very different lines that are required on this. And here we have a big hill climb at the end, jumping into the finish, where it is actually faster, at least from my experience, to actually wiggle on the dirt to get those speed slides going. Let's see if the drivers are actually going to go for that. But yeah, this is a pretty exciting track. Let's have a gander at this one. Let's follow Dodeca from Canada, who goes for the inside line. There's a possibility to no-slide this, which is of course not possible if you are a keyboard driver. But as an analog driver, you can no-slide the first couple of corners. Now we have this section, which is meant to be a respawn, as the media tracker text actually suggests. But it is faster to just turn around. Dodeca passing Beat, who got a pretty weak turnaround. Revolution in the lead, but jumps too far right. Hits the checkpoint. Dodeca with a good comeback right here, up to third place. Marius on first, followed by Gwen. Dodeca now risking it for the biscuit, but stumbles over the dirt. Saves it with a bug slide, though, and decides to go for a respawn. Drops all the way down to third place, to last place. And here's the wiggle that I was mentioning. Marius 89 going for that wiggle and clocks in another 10-pointer. Gwen with 6, Beat with 4, Revolution on 4th place, and Dodeca on last. And Marius now taking over that second place, guys. Marius overtaking Beat in the total score. It is now 84 to 83. This is getting heated up, guys. And here you can clearly see the superiority of Mario's no-slide line. He definitely knows how to take advantage from that technique, which is of course very difficult to execute. But Marius does it really well and boosts himself up to first place as we speak. Beat with a great turnaround. Look at him. He is going from third to first now. Is he getting back that second place on the scoreboard? Revolution jumping really far right again. But it was really good. Look how much speed he just gets by simply jumping more right than his opponent. Marius now fighting with Beat. Up the hill we go. Both going for the wiggle. Revolution with that safe first place unless he jumps too far. Marius gets that jump pretty well. secures that second place over Beat, which is important now. Dodeka and Gwen following up on the last 2 positions. $105 for Revolution. He is now crossing the 100-point border, and he's coming closer to that finalist mode. Last round on the mountain. Once again, you can just simply see the difference between the slide and the no slide line. However, it doesn't really make too big of a difference in a hindsight. Like, you can see that the drivers are still pretty close to each other. So, not too big of a difference altogether. The 2 M&M drivers leading, Beat and Revolution fighting for that first place. Dodeka jumping very far. That is not what you want. You want to land early and as far right as possible. This is a very close fight. It is too early to call. Beat stumbling a lot. Marius now has to respawn. That is not good for him. Beat on second place. Revolution has a bit less speed, but it's not going to matter too much. Revolution jumping very far. And Gwen sniping from the right side. I actually did not see him at all. Gwen sniping Beat at the end with that diagonal jump approach and secures himself 6 points. He came literally out of nowhere. And he is still, he wants to have a saying. He is still in the race, boys. He is still in the race. He is at 85 points, Beat at 91, Marius at 93. You have 8 points between 2nd and 4th. Keep in mind that only the top 3 will go home with the prize money. That is $500 that will be spread across the top 3. And we are gonna go onto Mario's own map called Bambo. Will this be a blessing or will it be a pain? We will find out soon. As per usual for Mario's maps, it is a very versatile track. It does incorporate some tech. It does incorporate some water-bound ceiling hit shenanigans. Some grass, as you can see. So, a lot of things that you need to master in order to be quick on this track. But yeah, Revolution definitely with a chance to reach finalist mode. The point limit to reach finalist mode is 120. So he is most likely going to reach it on this map. Unless he fully chonks, which I don't believe will happen, judging by his great performance in the warm-up. He beats Gwen by exactly a second in the warm-up. So, 93 for Marius. He could also reach the 100-point threshold together with Beat. Maybe even Gwen, if he gets some of those juicy 10-pointers. We will find out as we go through the first round right here. This is anyone's match to win. But Revolution definitely having the upper hand right now. Beat with a very good sculpture part, and I think that was Revolution who actually had to completely back off. Lucky that he didn't have to completely respawn, but he finds himself 2.5 seconds behind. And if he takes this round at this position into the finish line, he's not going to reach finalist mode. In the lead right now, it is Beat, followed by Gwen, Dodeka and Marius fighting for that third place. This is a very good opportunity for both Beat and Gwen to come closer to Revolution. Marius on third, 0.3 behind the leaders. Goes for a very tight line. Dodeka trying to carry a bit more speed through this, but wasn't really too successful at this. Over the platform section we go. Now on the black platform. Want to make sure that you angle up yourself well enough for the transition down the sculpture. Marius actually going for a wall ride, and as you can see, it is actually a pretty good line. And wow! It was actually Gwen that messes up the finish. Look at him. Gwen messed up the finish jump, and he has to go for the bonus finish. From 1st to 5th he goes. Very, very unfortunate. And Beat will be the one that capitalizes from this and will overtake Marius in total score again. 118 for Revolution, 101 for Beat, and 99 for Marius. That was unfortunate for Gwen, and he is gonna lose on precious points. Will he be able to recover from this rather unfortunate mistake? The finish jump is certainly something that you don't want to miss, especially when you are fighting for first place. Gwen and Marius right now, the back markers in this round. Some slightly different lines here. Gwen going very tight. Marius went a bit wider. It doesn't really come closer. Dodeka with a very good start. Look at him. He is on first place. Beat and Revolution lurking in the shadows. Going for an outside approach. Trying to maintain more speed. Beat with the inside wall hit. And he will get passed by both Gwen and Marius as a result. Revolution on first place. He can take it easy right here. He is going to reach finalist mode. He just needs to finish. Revolution on first place. But of course he knows that he can take away points from his opponents. Dodeka now with a mistake. He is now dropping down to last place. This is a back and forth right now. Revolution still on first place. Then it is Gwen now that makes a mistake. Going through the tents. Marius 89 now going for the wider line. And he's actually sniping Beat, who misses the finish. And he's dropping down to 5th place now. Everyone made a mistake right here. What is happening? What is happening? Beat had at least 2nd, maybe 3rd. But he missed the finish jump. Revolution, first finalist attempt. Marius 89 at 105. He's not going to challenge finalist status right here. But he can deny Revolution. Different strats right here at the water bounce. We see Marius 89. He's nowhere to be seen. Where is Marius? He is really, really far behind, and he's going to be out of it. Beat right now on first place. Where's Revolution? He's on 2nd. Will his own teammate deny Revolution the victory in the Eternal Cup 3? Beat right now has accumulated a 0.2 lead, which he's actually going to extend because Revolution messed up, and he makes another mistake. Gwen now with the overtake, and Dodeka as well. Revolution not looking to win this cup in this round. Beat looking to gather some very important points. His opponent Marius is on last place. Oh, but Dodeka with a full stop right here in the 10th part. And that will allow Gwen to inherit that 2nd place, get 6 points. Revolution finishes on 3rd. Denies Marius some points right here, who only gets 3, and Dodeka with 2. So this round, again, all over the place. The pressure gets the drivers now. We are coming closer to the end of the race. And of course, the pressure is coming closer and closer. It is heating up. It is heating up. So now it is Beat that takes over that 2nd place again, 113. So if he denies Revolution one more time, whilst getting that 10 points, he will be finalist as well. And we're gonna go on to the next map, which is a map by Mimo Jr. Dinde de Noël. I have not seen a lot from this map, but it is a map that has a very technical touch to it. So this one could turn the entire table around. We're gonna find out after the warm-up. Revolution definitely, as someone who's really experienced in tech, is gonna have a very good chance. But also Beat is someone that is really, really fast if he wants to. So he could definitely put his teammate up for a fight. Oh, and we actually do see some shortcut shenanigans right here by Revolution. Something that I actually was not aware of. So this could actually be another spicy factor to add to this competition. And the finish jump right here. So this looks very, very exciting. Topspin TM with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Enjoy your emotes. So this could be the last map of the Eternal Cup 3. We're gonna find out soon. Will Revolution finally close out the finalist mode? Or will Beat, or maybe even Marius 89, deny him the entire thing? Here we go. Let's follow Revolution. He is going through his 2nd finalist attempt now. And right now, it is looking pretty good for Revolution. He is up to first place. Gets a pretty tight line. And he is a 10th ahead of Dodeka and Beat, who are lurking in the shadows. Revolution went very tight, Dodeka very wide, and now Beat is coming closer to his teammate. Beat versus Revolution for that first place, and Dodeka is just a 10th behind. Now we see people going for the shortcut. Revolution getting stuck at the checkpoint. Support pillar. Dodeka up to first place. And he is in the lead by half a second, ladies and gentlemen. But Dodeka actually clipping the edge of the block, and it is Beat and Marius now passing everyone. Revolution most likely not going to take it right here. It is Revolution that gets stuck under the finish block. Who won this round? It is Beat that gets the 10-pointer and will be finalist as well. Beat with the 10-pointer. Marius on second place gets up to 114 points. Gwen at 100 flat. And Dodeka now with 77. He's pretty much out of it. Two finalists. The two M&M drivers now in finalist status. Beat versus Revolution. Marius needs to win or get second place and hope that both of his opponents from Team M&M are gonna chonk somewhere. Right now, good start for the M&M drivers. Where is Marius 89? He is in the mix. Gwen made a mistake. Went too wide, hits the wall. He's out. Dodeka on third. He can also make something happen, but he jumps to Narnia. Jumps too far left, and he's also out of it, but I don't think he had to respawn. Anyway, we are approaching the shortcut now. Marius with a different approach goes for a left-hand slide, while Revolution and Beat go for a right-hand slide. Beat, however, in the lead, and he's most likely gonna take this one home. Beat makes this jump. Revolution a 10th behind. Will Beat take this one home? The last jump remaining right here. Revolution is a 10th behind. The last flip, but Revolution jumps lower, and he wins the Eternal Cup 3. Beat jumps to the moon, to the ISS, and he actually throws away the victory in this competition. $275 for Revolution. GG. What a mistake by Beat. He completely misjudged the last jump, and he will get denied by his teammate. Revolution wins Eternal Cup 3. What an unfortunate mistake, but the cup is not over yet. Beat still has the chance to take second, but there's Marius 89 that moved up to finalist status as well. So all eyes on Beat and Marius 89. No mistakes being made so far. Beat right now in the lead, followed by Gwen and Marius. Dodeka also still here. Everyone making this jump by the looks of it. Also Dodeka jumping on the platform this time. And now the shortcut. The approaches are going to be incredibly important. Gwen actually does not go for the shortcut. Wait! Beat did not get the checkpoint. Beat did not get the checkpoint. I repeat, Beat did not get the checkpoint. Marius 89 about to take second place in the Eternal Cup 3. He's jumping towards the finish line, and he gets it. Marius 89 gets second place in this competition. Beat turned around too early, and he did not get the checkpoint. Another massive choke, and this is something that he's definitely gonna be a downer for his mentality. Ay. So we have our first two winners. Revolution, who gets first, and Marius 89 that gets second place. We're still gonna fight it out for the third place though. It is gonna be a map by Dodeka. It is a map called The Wind and the Waves. This is gonna be the last one. We're gonna battle it out until we find out who's gonna take third. Beat still in finalist. Gwen at 109. So there's still some room for Beat to finally close it out after getting denied multiple times. But his mentality is surely not the highest anymore. After what happened, the motivation is definitely not as high as it could have been. That is for certain. But he still has a very fair chance at closing it out. Dodeka is sitting at 83 points. So he needs the entire solar system to align in one line in order to come back. And that looks like a proper warm-up by Dodeca. Of course, it is his own map, so this is something that he could maybe use to his advantage. Maybe he can deny Beat a couple more finalist attempts as well. Maybe even deny Gwen. We will find out in an instant. And off we go. Potentially the last round. If Beat is winning this, then it is the end. So here we go. Ooh, Beat going very wide in the looping. That was not the optimal line. You will have to let both Dodeca and Gwen pass. Beat, however, with that inside drift, not the best speed for him as we boop onto the water bounce. Beat with that inside line. This is neck and neck. Beat versus Gwen. Dodeca is a 10th behind, so he could still maybe make a change. Want to get all of those boosts in front of the loop-de-loop. And this is still incredibly close. Will Beat actually take this one home? The pressure is really high right now. Gwen stumbling over the Randstein, but it wasn't too bad. Gwen with that inside line, and he gets that inside line again. Gwen up to first place, and he's looking to deny Beat that finalist status. Dodeca made a mistake. He's out of it. Beat, not with the greatest line, goes for the outside pole, but Gwen will remain in the lead. The last finish jump is remaining, and Gwen will get it. 102.98, and Gwen is still in it. 119 points, so he gets that slap in the face position, where he's 1 point away from reaching finalist mode, so he needs to deny Beat again. He needs to do it again. Next finalist attempt for Beat. This is getting annoying for him. Let's go into the next rounds. Let's follow Dodeca. Maybe he is going to be the one to deny Beat this time. He made a mistake in the previous round. Maybe he's going to avoid it this time. However, Beat with a great start. He's a 10th ahead of Dodeca. Gwen another 0.2 behind. So this is looking pretty good for Beat in the first half of the track. Beat going for that Neo slide just before that turnaround. And he is extending his lead. 3400s between Beat and Dodeca. Gwen is 1 second behind. He made a mistake. So this is looking very good for Beat. Will he finally take this one home? Will he take third in this competition after getting denied multiple times? The gap is increasing with pretty much every turn. Beat can take it home safe. There is just a few corners remaining for the German driver, for Team M&M. He survives the gap jump. Last drift coming up, and this is looking pretty good right here. I don't think he's going to throw that away. Beat will take third place in the Eternal Cup 3 and will take home some of that juicy prize money as well. GG. Dodeca on fourth place. No. Gwen on fourth place and Dodeca on 5th. GG.